Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pentiment. So, this was not my initial plan for what I was going to be streaming tonight, but I'm in the mood for it. All I really know about this game is that it's a mystery style game in the style of Case the Golden Idol, Obra Dinn, that kind of stuff, to the best of my knowledge. It's been gradually moving up the list of stuff I want to play. So, without further ado, let's get started. I'm fine with the stylized fonts for now. Pentiment. I like this music. Bavaria, Holy Roman Empire, April 1518. I didn't see what the town's name is. An artist sleeps. An artist's mind. And the abbot said to me, Andreas, keep your conversations with Brother Piero to a minimum. Brother Piero is such a source of wisdom and encouragement for you, though. Indeed, but the rule of the Christian contemplative life demands that the brothers not engage in idle chatter. Let me turn down the volume just a little bit. St. Grobian. Jesus Christ, what a pack of dullards. Be happy you're only stuck there for a few more months, Andreas. How did you reply to the abbot, Andreas? Okay, so we got Socrates, some guy I never heard of, Prester John, and Beatrice. I replied that the rule was for him, not for me. I'm an artist, not a monk. Thank Christ for that. Oh, not Saint Grobian, Saint Grobian. Grobian? His calling is to God, yours is to your labor and the illumination that it brings. The abbot's house, so everyone has to play by his rules, or rather, the rule. Despite the abbot's ire, you must endure. Soon you will have finished both the abbot's work as well as your masterpiece. And then you will return to Nuremberg, where marriage and your new life as a master await you. I'm curious what's exact significance the underlying words mean. I mean, they're obviously like people and places and important things, but I wonder if it goes beyond that. Yes, marriage to someone he has never met. Hardly ideal. Well, the alternative is becoming a philosopher. Oh, Jesus. Then you should definitely get married. Is she pretty at least? Hey, Dog Nozzle. I I know nothing about Pentiment, so I am excited. All I know is it's like a medieval, well, I mean, it's in the title of the stream. It's a medieval kind of mystery game. I was led to understand it was kind of in the same vein as Obra Dinn or Case of the Golden Idol, things like that. Yeah, no spoilers, please. Oh, who knows? That's not why I'm doing it anyway. It is growing late. The wheel of time stops for no man, Andreas. I fear you must leave us. Ah, true, your majesty. Will you visit us again soon? Hopefully, but it's out of my control, your majesty. As are many things. Trust in providence. Grobian, please see Andreas safely home. Of course, your majesty. Till next time, Andreas. Until next time, your majesty. Pay no mind to the other fools, Andreas. I never do. Ow. I like that one fool in like the bottom middle who's just sticking his tongue out. Looks like he's licking the boat. At least I would if they'd stop stepping on my feet. Watch where you're going. They're fools, Andreas. No point in trying to teach them anything. I know old John wants you to endure the abbot's shit, but since I take you home, I get the last word. Don't let him run you ragged, boy. Oh, that was misspelled initially and then got corrected. He's just trying to keep order in the Abbey. I'm an outsider. Right, an outsider he brought in. If he wants your work, he has to deal with you as you are. Ah! Would you please stop? I give up. Take me home, Gavian. As you wish, Andreas. Good morning, Ursula. Oh, is that his daughter? Go, under... Time to get up. One. The Baron, April 1518. West. Two more pages. Prime, hour 6. Another day, another few pages for the abbot, and hopefully a few for myself. I need to get across town and head up to the abbey so I can start work at the scriptorium. The Picatrix, Key of Solomon, Heptemera, Friar... Oh, the Heptameron. Friar Ferenc keeps giving me all these books to read. I should really clean this up. Andrew. Good morning, Andreas. Did you sleep well? Quite well, actually. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Anyway, I know you'll be off to the Abbey, so I packed you some food. Almonds, cheese, and some of the rye you like from the album. Otto wanted me to ask you to join him for dinner at the Abbey. Otto stopped by? Yes, around dawn. Thank you. Here you are, Andreas. Oh, Ambre. That's too kind of you, Clara. Many thanks. Master Andreas, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, could we... You wanna fuck? Would it be too much trouble if you paid next month's rent today? Oh, God. And if we raised it by 2 groschen? I hate to ask, but we're behind on our taxes to the Abbey. 2 months behind. Peter's losing his hair over it. Even more than usual, I mean. I suppose that's not out of the question. Yes, I think I can manage that. So grateful, truly, Andreas. I apologize again for asking. It's just awful to be stuck in such a position. Our taxes get harder to pay every year. Peter works hard, but it just never seems like it's enough. St. Luke bless you for helping us out. Speaking of St. Luke, how is your masterpiece coming along? It's been 2 months now, hasn't it? Slowly, I'm afraid. Most of my days are spent doing work for the Abbey. It's only during the divine office that Prior Ferenc allows me to work on my masterpiece. A reasonable restriction, but slow going. City Council doesn't require it to become a master. I'm making it mostly to show clients, and for my own sake. And yes, when I do finish, I will go back to Nuremberg, where I will marry and open a workshop of my own. From Nuremberg to a university and now traveling the world as an artist. What a life you have ahead of you, Master Andreas. Yes, I suppose it does feel like I'm starting a new chapter in my life after some wandering. It must be rather frightening, starting all over again. I owe it to my family to make something of my life. Oh boy, this will be remembered. They helped me even after I dropped out of university. Can't let them down. I'm sure you make your family proud, Andreas. Anyway, I don't know anything about art, but I've seen you sketching such beautiful things in your little book. Your masterpiece must be wonderful. Well, it's hard to say until it's done. It's no way to think about it. I'm sure it will be a treasure when it's finished. Now, I have to get back to my own work. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas, and we'll see you after Vespers. Vespers supper. Not tonight, but thank you. Klaus Drucker invited me over for supper. Of course. Please say hello to the Druckers for us. Of course. Till later, Clara. Hello, Andreas. Andreas. Ill Peter. God bless you, Andreas. Oh, yes, Andreas. Weather's been god-awful. This town's gone to shit since my days. Were things very different when you were young? As different as beer and piss. The old abbot didn't bother us much about our customs. Didn't mind if we left a little offering to Perkta. Keep the skies clear, the weather fair. Perkta, pagan goddess of the Alps, associated with animals and spinning wool. She is still invoked by some Christians in Austria, Switzerland, Bavaria, and Swabia. Huh. I like the thing longer they've got going on there. Matthias knew that Christ was in our hearts, even if the white lady's name was on our lips. The church banned all observances of pagan gods, ill Peter. Well, no one told Perkta that. She was here first. Those are some weird pigs. The saints weren't the first to watch over Tassing. My father knew that. Old Rannig Kemper knew that. That bastard abbot may not like it, but some of us keep the traditions alive. I won't mention that at the Abbey. The Abbey. Perkta's hounds, take the abbot. I should go. Alright, God bless you. Big Yorg. Or, oh, there's a little cat with a flaming bottle on its back. Aww. Like a rocket. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Big Yorg. How'd you get that name, I wonder, Yorg? How's it going? You working today? Just taking a rest for a bit. Dad's still in the field. Hit a big rock with the plow, and it took me Lord knows how long to pull it out. You off to the Abbey? Every day but Sunday. Right. Thank God for Sundays. Smells like a storm's coming, no? Huh, just smells like fresh alpine air to me. Been traveling too much. Where was it you spent your Wanderjahre before you came to Tassing? Wandering years, during which journeyman artists or craftsmen travel far and wide to improve their skills. I figured that's what it was. Basil? Andreas knows some Italian and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Basel, nearby Bern, Zurich, and Freiburg. Low Countries. Andreas knows some Dutch and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Antwerp, Bruges, Ghent. Andreas knows Italian, a little Greek, and can reference cultural touchstones from Florence, Venice, and Milan. I'll go Low Countries. Antwerp, Bruges, and Ghent. All the great art cities of Flanders. Where's that? North and west, down by the sea. There's your problem. Sea air has confused your sense of smell. Spend enough time in these mountains, and you'll be able to smell a storm coming. How long will that take? 10, 15 years? I don't think I have that long, Big York. What'd you spend all that time in Flanders doing anyway? Other than art, I mean. Ooh, hedonist? Andreas seeks out pleasure wherever he goes. He is extremely social and quite experienced in all the enjoyable vices of the world. Craftsman? Andreas loves to work and dedicates all of his time to his art. Bookworm, Andreas spends all of his non-working free time finding and reading as many books as he possibly can. Rapscallion, Andreas has a penchant for getting involved in petty schemes, pranks, minor crimes, and fistfights. And businessman, Andreas devotes much of his time to self-promotion, optimizing business expenses, making investments, and balancing his books. Okay, so it's either Rapscallion or I'll go hedonist. Flemish women are beautiful and the beer is wonderful. What do you think I spent my time doing? Sounds like fun, but you better not let Father Thomas hear about it. Why not? Priests tell us to emulate the lives of the saints. I revere St. Augustine, who said, Lord, make me chaste, but not yet. If you say so, Andreas, I still think you're going to get in trouble with Father Thomas. That was kind of the point. Jorg! Anyway, I have to get going. Jorg, let's go. Dad's already acting like I'm taking too long, even though I did all the work to get that rock out. See you later, Andreas. Until later. Oh, Andreas, good timing. Do you have a moment to lend me a hard hand? I'm already late. Of course. Wonderful, I've got too many irons in the fire. Or rather, shoes. Horseshoes. I miscounted how many I put in. Now I need a hand, else they'll overheat and I won't be able to work the metal. Here, take the shoe and the tongs. Put the hot part of the shoe on the anvil, and I'll hit it with the hammer. Good, good. Next one. Ah, well done. See? Short work. Thanks for the help, Andreas. I don't know what I was thinking doing all of those at once. It would be nice to have someone to help me out here every day. Have you considered an apprentice? I have. None of the boys in the village seem interested. Keep at them. I bet you could get Bert Drucker. Huh. Klaus would have my head if I tried. Anyway, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'll see you and Otto up by the Abbey guest house for dinner. Till then. Martin, please, can you give me a hand here? What do you want? I'm keeping an eye on them. That looks a lot like standing there and doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sake, help your cousin. Morning, Andreas. Excuse us. One of the fence rails fell and the sheep started hopping it. No, excuse me. I'll try to stay out of your way. Thanks. It'll probably take an hour or two to track them all down at this rate. Blood sacrament. Damn it, Veronica. What did I say about blasphemy? Sorry, Mom. Oh, look. There's something going on up at the Steinauer's place. Who's that on the horse? Looks rich. Oh, this guy is up to no good. I don't know, Martin, but Lucky is giving him an earful. I haven't seen Lucky that worked up since Peter and Clara's wedding. Johann pulled his pants down. Knocked two of my man's teeth out. Don't want to feel the strength behind a stonemason's anger. Think he's a noble? Really rich. Damn it, Martin, stay out of trouble for once. What, Aunt Hetty? Behave yourself. Don't we have enough to deal with right now? Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get these sheep under control. Of course. See you later. Don't work too hard, Martin. Yeah. Search and Drucker. Oh, whoa, whoa. Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Morning, Klaus. Another day at the Abbey, another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Good to hear. So coming by for supper tonight? Marie and Bert would love to see you. Really need to see these new woodcuts I have for an Italian edition of Till Eulenspiegel, titular character of a popular 15th century book. Bill is a prankster, continuously exposing the vices and hypocrisy of others. He's also quite skilled at tricking people into smelling, touching, or eating his excrement. That is very, very specific. Sorrowful be the heart. I don't know what that means. Refax underscore. No spoilers, please. I didn't realize Father Thomas let you print books in Italian. Come on, Andreas. He's not that strict. I know he's just trying to protect people from adventure stories of questionable moral repute. Doesn't mind those so much, actually. No? As long as they don't get too carnal. Ooh. Oh, supper tonight after Vespers? Monastic hour. Okay, dusk, one of the major prayer hours that is followed by supper. Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was a Pentiment thing. Yes, this is my first playthrough. I know nothing about it aside from I was led to believe it was kind of a mystery kind of deal, but either way, regardless, I'm gonna go through it, so yeah, no spoilers. Of course, thank you. Great, I'll tell Marie and Bert you're coming. See you then. See you later. God bless, Master Mahler. I hope your week is going well. Thank you, Father. It's going quite well. I'm just on my way up the hill to get to work. Good, good. Andreas, I don't recall seeing you at Sunday morning mass. You understand how important it is for us, for it is for your salvation that you receive Holy Communion, don't you? Sigh. Andreas, do you think I like saying these silly things to people to get them to come to church? Oh my, what a blessed day to receive such an illustrious visitor. That guy looks like a dick. Master Mahler, or Mahler, this is Lorenz, Baron of Rothvogel, a great lord from the countryside near Worms. Eat that, host. I know they give me more context. I saw that. I'm familiar with Worms, though. It's a city in Germany. The diet of worms, I know, is a thing. Good to see you, Father Thomas. It is nice to be remembered fondly. I only wish all of your neighbors were as welcoming. I'm not planning on going through all of the. Oh, oh wait. Oh, the thought bubbles. Oh, I'll take a look at that next time I saw that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about the little red underscores. Okay, those the thought bubbles. I gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. It is nice to be remembered. Only wish all of your neighbors were as welcoming. Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town? Yeah, it took me a second, but I gotcha. My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. Spent a few days in Innsbruck, and it was terribly dull. I mean, it has a certain charm common to these alpine cities, but the place was crawling with nobles for the emperor's diet. Yeah, an imperial diet is the assembly of the three colleges of the imperial estates of the Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, the diet of worms. Remember, that's like a historical event. The emperor, was he there? Did you see him? Oh, briefly, but he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely. I didn't want to bother him or the painter. Why was the diet assembled, my lord? Oh, nothing you need to worry about. Austrian things, Habsburg things, boring even for nobles. If they involve the Habsburgs, that can only go poorly. Anyway, my wife wanted to stay a bit longer in Innsbruck, and I decided to ride ahead, make a visit to Curacao. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit. Great loss for the Abbey and for us all. Indeed. By good fortune, I recently came across a copy of the Historia Tassiae. Kind of the early history of Tassing. Curaçao's previous abbot, Father Matthias, had a copy. Baron Rothvogel brought another to the Abbey's Historian Tassiae. He was reading during my last visit. Father Matthias was hoping to find a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. It contains some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid that they might even cause a bit of a scandal. Yes. But I must be off. There will be time enough to discuss Tassing's past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the Abbey through Father Gernot, and I have come to check on its progress. Oh, my lord, if you have come to see your manuscript, speak with young Master Mailer here. It is an honor to meet you, my lord. Grace is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months, he's also helping in the Abbey's scriptorium. A Nuremberger artist working in an Abbey scriptorium in 1518? Oh, we should talk, Andreas. I must know the story. Of course, I'll play along for now. Of course, my lord, it would be an honor. Oh God, that fucking smirk. Wonderful. It's so rare to find someone in the countryside who knows anything about art. Thank you for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the Abbey tonight. I'm inviting you to the Abbot's table. Did the Abbot invite me? Oh, don't worry about it, Father. Just show up after Vespers. What is he going to do? Use us? I. Excellent. We will see you then. McClaus, I'm dismounting. Run ahead of us and take the horses to the Abbey's guest house. I'd like to take my time talking with Master Mailer. I'll meet you there. At once, my lord. So then, a journeyman from Nuremberg. Forgive me for saying so. You seem a little old to not yet be a master. Are you unmarried? No, I'm not married, but in truth, I came to my vocation later than my father and brothers. I was in university for a number of years at Erfurt. Erfurt? Wonderful. Same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his books? Oh, his works, okay. Tremendous mind. There's things about the church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave, brilliant man. Wait, you may have even met him, did you? You must tell me. Ah, no, he was a few years ahead of me. His ideas don't hold much interest for me, I'm afraid. Oh, nonsense. Even if you disagree with him, how can the ideas not hold your interest? I wonder if the good brothers of the Abbey have heard of him. Oh boy. Perhaps they even read his list of 95 theses against the church. Oh god, this guy's gonna... If it were anyone but monks, I'd say he was gonna get murdered. No spoilers, just in case he does actually get murdered. Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gernot does not disappoint in that regard. But enough about Luther for now. Tell me about your university studies. Why are you so interested in my education? Ah, yes, it must seem strange. I did not attend university, but I had a rich private education at my family's estate. I... Oh, whoa. I love all knowledge, from Aristotle and Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus, and everyone in between and yet to come. I may have misjudged the Baron. It seems he is as well read as any university student. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now then, did you earn your doctorate? I... No, I didn't. Only a master's degree. I started working toward a doctorate, but didn't finish. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what was your area of study? I'll go with imperial law. Law. I suppose I thought I could practice in Nuremberg. Never had much interest in the subject, honestly. A bit dull for my taste. Yeah, Graham is sitting on the desk, looking at me. Besides, the Empire is such a mess of jurisdictions. Bavarian law, Rhenish law, Franconian law. Nonsense. I mean, why do you care? You're not really subject to the laws. Anyway, probably. Or, technically. I'd rather use my money to pay someone who studied the nonsense than learn it myself. You. If I had any faith, I would have prayed you'd never show your face here again. Curse you, Lorenz Rothvogel. Erkta's dogs tearing you to pieces would be too kind of fate. These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think? What was that about? Who knows? By the time I finish guessing, the old crone will probably be dead. Well, what of your early time in university? Every student must study the trivium and quadrivium, yes? Trivium, trivium and quadrivium represent the lower and upper divisions of a classical liberal arts degree. Ugh. Of a classic liberal arts university education. Latin Latin grammar, logic, and rhetoric form the trivium. Arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy form the quadrivium. Did you have a favorite subject? Latinist? Logician. Andreas has a strong command of Latin, grammar, and vocabulary. He can also easily recall Sententiae Antiquae, quoted words of wisdom from the Roman Republic and Empire. That fucking face of Lorenz's, he looks like such a douchebag. Logician, Andreas instinctively thinks through the implications of information as he receives it. He's adept at spatial analysis and can easily perform complicated calculations in his head. Orator, Andreas excelled at rhetoric in university. He's a skilled teacher, persuader, and public speaker. Occultist, Andreas knows a soul-endangering amount of theoretical and practical knowledge on alchemy, astrology, liturgy, necromancy, and various magical rites and ceremonies. Heavens and earth. Andreas knows a great deal about the constellations, heavenly bodies, and their movement. He's also familiar with various plants and animals from studying personal experience. I'm gonna go occultist just cause fuck yeah. But also, I'm committed I think I'm committed at this point to just pissing off the abbot. I used my access to the university's library to pursue more esoteric interests. Oh, esoteric how? Mystical texts, books on alchemy, invoking spirits, divination. Purely academic, of course. Of course, God, his fucking face. I started with Ficino's Corpus Hermeticum, and my interest only deepened from there. Compilation of 17 religious and philosophical treatises encompassing the soteriology of Herme- Hermes Trismegistus, or Thrice Great Hermes. Centuries-old texts reflect Egyptian, Greek, and Jewish traditions and ideas, and were translated into Latin in the late 15th century by Marsilio Ficino and Lodovico Lazzarelli. Quite interesting, Andreas. I'll make some time to speak with you more on this topic during my stay. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, and he's a hedonist. He's a hedonist lawyer who's into the occult. Please be discreet about it, my lord. Yes, that's why we will talk about it later. And your other studies? Was there anything else you've excelled at? I'll go orator. The art of persuasion, naturally. Rhetoric. Ah, I assume you studied the Greeks and Romans both? Yes, Aristotle and Cicero, of course, but also Christian thinkers like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas. True, we have less use for public discourse than senators did in the Roman Republic. Exactly, the doctors of the church weren't trying to persuade politicians, but to move the mind toward Christian truth. Still, the principles remain the same. Vent your arguments, then arrange style and internalize them before delivering them to your audience. Splendid, though I suppose an artist has little use for rhetoric, especially in a place such as this. Not true. Rhetoric is also an art, and like other forms of art, it should be created for the audience and its purpose. Be practiced as easily in the streets of a rural town as in the curia of Rome. Well put. Ah, there's the abbey. I have good memories of this place, and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to know of Kirsau at all? My family have been patrons of Kirsau for, oh, I don't know how many generations. Some years ago I heard that Kirsau still had a wonderful library and artists. Professional artists have taken over most manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. The artists that remain here are quite talented, if a bit old-fashioned. Well, Kirsau was more than a bit old-fashioned. Some of my friends think I'm mad for commissioning a manuscript from an abbey in this day and age. But well, my family have been patrons of Kirsau for generations. Seems wrong to stop now while there's still talent here. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Gernot a year ago. Or Gernot, maybe? Gernot, probably. German. I thought I would stop by and check on the progress. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no. I do know the artist well, the venerable Brother Piero. How venerable. Still has his wits and his skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with color, and I very much look forward to seeing it. Miklaus, tend to the horse and the baggage. I'm heading up to the abbey. Yes, my lord. Well, let's not keep the abbot waiting any longer. Nuns. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they are separated. The church closed most of them centuries ago. But then Curacao is a place out of time in more ways than one. You know Mother Cecilia? She seemed to recognize you. We were acquainted, yes. Let's leave it at that. They fucked. They totally fucked. Ah, you must be Father Gernot. I am Lorenz, Baron of... Yes, the Baron of Rothvogel. So wonderful to have you here again. We actually did meet on your last visit. Yeah, I'm not role-playing Andreas necessarily as anything. Uh, I didn't really have any mind in it with it. I just picked what seemed the most interesting. So I'm going with him as generally secular, and he doesn't really care much for religion. He'll work for it, but he doesn't really care for it that much. If you say so. I am not good with remembering faces. Please forgive me, my lord, but I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Yes, I know, but I wrote ahead. I just couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. Yes. I mean, no, it's no trouble. Did you want to see it now? Oh, in a moment. I could do with a bit of refreshment, though. May I grab something from the kitchen? Uh, yes, yes. Certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. Andreas, I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium, now. Why are you taking this out on me? He's not my problem. Ah, shit, I should have asked him about an advance for the Gertner's taxes. Maybe I could just convince Brother Matthew to pay me early. Oh, shit. Oh. Courtyard and lavatorium? God give you health, Master Mailer. Sebhat. Brother Sabhat, I'm surprised to see you still here. As am I, but I will be leaving soon, returning to Rome. I and my bishop regret that we could not reciprocate Father Rodolph's generosity earlier. He showed much kindness to our priests at the Council of Constance many, many years ago. Meeting of bishops that took place between 1414 and 1418 in the Diocese of Constance to end the Papal Schism. It was also notable for the condemnation and capture of the Bohemian theologian Jan Hus. Will you remain in Rome? That is up to my bishop, but I will miss these mountains in any case. Travel to Ethiopia, Master Mailer, and see the highlands. God has blessed my home with a wondrous beauty. I would love to, someday. I still need to return to Nuremberg and open my workshop. Yes, someday. Until then, if you are ever in Rome, I may still be around. I would like that. By the way, if you have some time in the next few days, it would be nice to share a meal with you and some of the townsfolk. Townsfolk? I am accustomed to strange looks, especially in rural places like this, but I have had kind words with the baker and his wife. Oh yes, the Albans, Ulrich and Gret. Offered to tell a story to the children and their mothers over a meal someday. Gret seemed excited about the idea, but I would be more comfortable if you were there as well. Do you not eat here with the brothers? Yes, but I am a guest, and I am not bound by the rule as they are. Oh, okay. He's not a monk. Father Garnet kindly allows me to come and go as I need to. But I will make time for you in the next few days. Thank you, Andreas. I look forward to it. God give you health. Whoops, wrong button. Okay, cut through the cemetery. The apple trees have only started to bloom. It will be months before they bear fruit. Guy. Andreas, God bless you. So good to see you. Good morning, Brother Piero. Good to see you as well. I don't like this weather. My bones ache. It means a storm is coming. Big Jorg Gertner says that if you live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell storms coming. Brother Adok has been here long enough that we can always smell him coming. Do not forget, Brother Guy, the fate of the youths who jeered the aged prophet Elisha outside of Bethel. Are you comparing yourself to a prophet, Brother Adok? I am comparing you to an impudent youth whom the Lord, in his ineffable wisdom, may choose to strike down. Calm yourself, Brother Adok. You're too sensitive to cash. I am old, Andreas. Every slight against me stings with the fire of 1,000 wasps. But I will pray to God for the strength to endure this wickedness. Well, everyone seems quite lively. I suppose that means Prior Ferenc is not overseeing us today. He was here, but then he heard Lorenz Rothvogel had arrived, and he hurried out like a little mouse. Ferenc is so desperate to impress the abbot and nobles like Rothvogel. It's pathetic. Feign kindness to Father Abbot and our prior only to speak about them like this behind their backs. It's shameful. Oh no. Baron Rothvogel. His manuscript. I just realized that he will want to see his manuscript. How silly of me. Of course that's why he is visiting. Perhaps if you were younger and faster, you wouldn't need to worry so much about patrons' visits. Guy, someday you will stand where Piero is, and a young monk will stand where you are now. Anyway, what's the problem? The Baron is just one client. He has to wait like anyone else. Andreas, Baron Rothvogel is not like anyone else. He has powerful friends, including the Prince Bishop of Freising? Freising, or maybe? Religious and secular ruler of scattered territories in the Holy Roman Empire, including the lands containing Tassing, Hirsau Abbey. Hirsau is already out of favor. Father Abbot does not want to have to deal with more attention. Well, if Prior Ferenc isn't here, I'm going to work on my masterpiece until he arrives. That's right, I need to reference the Indermauer manuscript. Prominent family of the Swiss Confederacy and Austria. What do you want, Andreas? A book, Indermauer manuscript, the Book of Hours. Hair looks messy today. Did you get enough sleep? Could I just get the book? Ugh, that's all that way upstairs. Can't you get by without it? No. Why are you complaining? Isn't this your job? Isn't writing books your job? Sister Illuminata. Andreas needs a book and he's being inappropriate with me. Yes? Sister Illuminata, I'd like to borrow the Indermauer manuscript, the Book of Hours. Yes, I overheard. Here, please return it promptly. Andreas, may I see how your masterpiece is coming? Of course, your opinion is always welcome. The composition is lovely. There is a joyful spirit in your arrangement of the figures. Contrast of colors is also quite nice, rich and beautiful on their own, but not overpowering the scene. Doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It's an excellent interpretation of someone else's work. What do you mean? It's all my work. My son, you're copying the illustration from the Indermauer manuscript almost exactly. So, what's wrong with that? Haven't I improved on it? Aesthetically, yes, it's wonderful. But I feel you have not given much thought to what it represents. It's November. In November, we show peasants leading the pigs into the forest, to forage on acorns before the slaughter. Andreas, the peasants here are no longer allowed to forage acorns in the forest. Many great lords and abbots... Okay, abbots across the empire have forbidden it. Even Father Gernot. What difference does it make? This is the way November is painted. But it is not the way November is. Art is illusion, storytelling, but in their most sublime form. These images illuminate a path to truth. Most important to me that my clients are happy. They won't pay me for truth. Yes, but with God's grace, this book of ours will outlive us all. What will it say to those who see it in a future generation, centuries beyond our comprehension? Some will gaze deep into your lines and paint to seek a deeper meaning. What will they find? But you need not listen to my opinion. They are just the thoughts of one old monk. There is no place for the monastic scriptoria anymore. Truth, this room is a place out of time. Does that make you sad? I admit I am still fond of the old styles of lettering and illumination, but even in my youth I knew it could not last. The creation of books of art is no longer the province of monasteries. So be it. More people will be able to write, more will be able to read, and in doing so be brought to truth. I think there will always be a place for artists like you and Brother Adok. Say nothing. Kind of you to say so, Andreas, but you need not be concerned for me. I have lived a long life and am happy to have served the Lord. When he calls for me, I am ready. Now, where is the time gone? It is already terse. An hour corresponding to 9 a.m., one of the little hours of prayer. Terse precedes Mass at the chapter meeting. Much talk. I must ask for forgiveness for not following the rule, for not honoring the rule. Till later, Andreas. Until later. Hmm. What's going on in here? Andreas, what was that noise? Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Illuminata. I knocked a bowl of paint to the floor. But then Prior Ferenc came in, wrote in one of his books, slammed it closed, and left. He was in such a hurry, I don't think he even noticed me. Was slamming books shut? Prior Ferenc should know better than that. Some of these manuscripts are quite delicate. He seemed to be in a great hurry. I think he is on edge since Baron Rothvogel arrived early. Which is why books should not be taken out of the library unless it is necessary for divine reading or work in the scriptorium. Oh, that reminds me, there are a few more books I've been wanting to borrow. You can't be serious. You want more books? I think Prior Ferenc has given you more than enough. What you want? I don't ask for those books, he just gives them to me and asks for my opinion. That's between the two of you. My concern is only for the books. I can't give them out to just anyone. Alright, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Nothing to forgive. The library and its books are my responsibility. My concern for the books does not end at the library door, nor does my responsibility. Please understand that. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait, what's all this fuss about Lawrence Rothvogel? Why is Prior Ferenc so nervous? Lawrence? I didn't know you were familiar enough with the man to use his Christian name. Anyway, I haven't dealt with him personally, but the Prior and Father Abbot have. I only know that he's purchased a number of our most valuable manuscripts over the years. And he paid enough to help the Abbey when we needed. Like what? What did he buy? Can't remember. You know, I have my own responsibilities to attend to. How about this, Andreas? If you help me recover some missing books, I'll tell you what I know about the Baron. Of course, I'll help in any way I can. Thank you. For the good of the Abbey. Where should I begin? Out there, where you and your cohort have carelessly strewn books around the scriptorium. I will tell you what books I'm looking for. Find them and return them to me. First books are 2 volumes of the Aeneid. Oh, yeah, it is that Aeneid. Reddish covers, 14 inches by 10 inches, 3 inches thick. Oh, I know the ones. They're among Pierre's favorites. He keeps them by my desk. They are not his to keep. I can't look in that book. Fair amount of wear on these, I hope you don't mind. Those volumes were old even when Pierrot started to make the copies. How long ago was that? 3 years. The Aeneid is not one of my favorite stories. I understand why it appeals to Pierrot. Aeneas chose his duty to the gods over his lover, Dido. Do you think Aeneas' sense of duty appeals to Pierrot? We all have our vocations. Brother Pierrot takes his more seriously than most of the others in this abbey. Oh, hi, Rysana. I haven't been checking the chat, so I didn't see when you came in. You clearly take your chosen vocation seriously. Andreas, I didn't have a choice in my vocation. Few women do. Well, surely it's not that dire. How would you know, Andreas? How could you? Men are not sorted with the same sieve of life as women are. There are fewer places where we fit. Even in stories, we are maidens to be rescued and wed, cruel seducers of men, or wizened crones. Like Dido, we ordinary women are merely tools in the tales of men. We can never be the protagonists of our own stories. No woman is exempt from that, from the empress to a nun. It is our lot. Suppose I understand now why you are not fond of the Aeneid. It's fine poetry. For men. Now, the books, if you please. Thank you. Next, Wretched Garin. An Italian chivalric romance written by Andrea de Barberino in the early 15th century. The titular character rises from impoverished origins to go on heroic adventures to discover his noble parentage. Originally published as a manuscript, it enjoyed greater success as a printed book. This is a printed copy. Green cover. Diamond pattern. I do not have the size in the ledger, but hopefully the description is enough. I know the one you're talking about. Brother Adok was reading it. beauty of this book truly belies its ridiculous content. I'm surprised the Abbey owns a copy. We don't. It belongs to Amadeo Rusco of Lugan- Lugano. I think it's a Swiss market town in the southwestern Alps. Okay. It's a Venetian edition that's quite valuable. He loaned it to us 5 years ago. It was subsequently lost, and the abbot has received 3 letters about it. Certainly seen the brothers enjoying it. That book is not appropriate reading for Benedictine monks. Baby is sold to pirates, raised a servant, then lives a life of adventure, wooing princesses and fighting in tournaments. Yeah, Rysana, whatever you're gonna say, no spoilers, okay? I know nothing of Pentiment. You forgot the best part. In the end, Garen learns he has royal blood, son of a duke. He reigns as a king and dies a pious hermit. What's not to love? Benedictine should be dreaming of reconciliation with our Lord, not lusty adventures. I suppose you're right. It's better suited for knaves like me. Not my place to reprimand anyone for reading stories, least of all you, Andreas. Still, we must be on guard. Fantasy leads to temptation. Temptation has led to the downfall of many men and women. Sometimes, yes, but books like this, it's all the same type of fantasy, isn't it? Die better than we are born. And what's the problem with that? Why shouldn't a peasant dream of being a king? There is neither Jew nor Greek, neither slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. You may be one in Christ, but we are not equal in this world. It isn't this world you should be concerned with, Andreas. But the book, Andreas, we must return it. Would you like the abbot to receive a 4th letter? In truth, it's unlikely you'd be considered liable under Bavarian law. Oh, are you a legal scholar now as well as an artist? Well, actually, I did study law at university. I don't care. I'm not concerned about the legality of it, but the principle. The book, please. There is only one book left, then you will be freed from bondage. A dark red cover, 8 inches high, 5 inches across, 2 inches thick. What is it? The description should be sufficient. I don't know why you won't tell me, but alright, I'll find it. Now that I think about it, Guy has always been guarded about this book, like he was hiding it. Very good. Please bring it here. What is this, anyway? Ah, it's in French. Soul that God touched. He is empty of sin in the first state of grace. What is this? You asking so many questions. Just give it to me. Why won't you tell me what this book is? Because it's a dangerous book, Andreas Mailer. One the previous abbot tolerated in spite of a papal order to destroy it. 3 French bishops condemned the book. All copies were to be burned. Its author shared the same fate. What? Why? I don't know, Andreas. It isn't my place to question the judgment of one bishop, much less 3. Before you ask, no. I haven't read it, but I know it contains a dialogue between love and reason. So the book is dangerous. When did the bishops condemn it? "200 years ago." What? Why? Why is it still here? Father Matthias loved books. All books. He didn't want to see it destroyed. And he was right to do so. Books shouldn't be destroyed, even if their content is in question. Holy Church does not share your opinion. It is their law we must contend with, not your emotions. Fumes silently. Not my place to question the former abbot's decision, but when Father Garnet learned it was in our possession, he wanted it destroyed. Well, I refuse to give it to you if all you're going to do is destroy it. What? Why not? What are you going to do with it? Read it and become a French heretic. That's not funny. I'm serious. Give me that book or our deal is forfeit. I won't tell you anything about Baron Rothvogel. Consider the sound theological reasons for allowing this book to exist. More sound than a condemnation from 3 bishops of Paris? I mean, who are you going to trust? Them or me? Thank you for making my decision so easy. Did you leave university voluntarily, or were you expelled? I appeal to your duty as the librarian of this abbey not to destroy this book. My duty is to God and to the vows I made, to the rule. But you do love books as well. I know you do. Andreas, I love God. Books contain knowledge that can help bring us closer to His truth. I do not love books as things, but I love that books can convey God's truth. It is not my place to judge your love of books, but it is not a love we share. But does the gospel not say, hate the sin but love the Bible? Which means book, so... No, it does not. I propose a compromise. I will take the book from the abbey far away. I'll be gone by the time Father Garnet asks about it, and if you like, you could say I stole it. I doubt he'll make a fuss about me stealing a book he wanted destroyed. I don't like this, Andreas. It feels wrong in my heart. I swear I'll take it far away. It's been out here for years. And besides, how could you have stopped me? Trusting you in this, Andreas, against my better judgment. Don't make me regret this. Now then, Baron Rothvogel. Quickly, though. I need to finish up here soon. He said that he buys books from the abbey. What kind? Why? Are you angling to get the Baron as a patron someday? Well, I'm not sure. I suppose I'm just curious. There's no shortage of books and artists in the big cities. Why patronize an outdated abbey and its dying scriptorium? Yes. Our library has managed to retain a curious selection of books, in large part, thanks to the permissiveness of our abbots and librarians. Baron has a particular interest in books on magic and other occult topics. Oh, so I lucked into something here. As does our prior, though I suspect the Baron's interest may be more experimental than academic. A dangerous error in judgment. There is much to learn from texts on astrology and theurgy, even necromancy, but reading is not practice. I'll assume that your interests go no further than what's on the written page. Faith can inure anyone against corrupting ideas, but reading such texts is dangerous. Not that it is my place to judge either the prior or the Baron, of course. You seem to say that often after judging people. Is that a joke or simply an observation? In any case, I understand that it is a flaw that I must correct. Well, I must be off to Mass. Thank you again for your help, Andreas. Wait, how will you get to the church if you can't enter the scriptorium? I thought this was the only door into the library. We are standing in the oldest part of the abbey, and like any old place, it has its share of secrets. Good day, Andreas. God be with you. That's the bell for Sext. Brothers will be sitting down for dinner soon. Ooh, yeah. I love that it's called Sext. Monastic hour corresponding to noon, one of the little hours of prayer followed by dinner. Oh yeah, it's time for sexting. I should see if Otto is around and still wants to eat with me. I think he's working by the guest house below the abbey. Taxes. Ah, I keep hitting the wrong button. Ah, God, I keep hitting the... Oh, hell yeah. A Dance of Death mural. Father Matthias had it painted a few years before his death. It's beautiful. Alright, let's talk to Father Gernot. Andreas? God bless you, Father Gernot. I wanted to speak with you on behalf of the Gertners. Gertners? What about them? Clara mentioned they're behind on tax payments to the Abbey. I told her I'd talk to you about the matter. Andreas, I'm not sure what you hope to accomplish with this. Financial agreements between the Abbey and the Gertners are none of your business. They are, now that they've asked me my rent early in order to pay the Abbey. Indeed, a shame that they're bringing you into their own troubles. I cannot change the tax owed, Andreas. The Abbey relies on such income to sustain itself. There is nothing else to discuss, then I must return to my duties. God bless you, Andreas. Oh, fuck. Okay, Who was the brother Matthew? Andreas, have you seen brother Rudiger? No. Why? Because he was not at Loud's. Monastic hour at dawn, one of the two major hours is used for the morning prayer. And no one has seen him since then. Do you think something's happened? I think after you terrified him in the library, he decided it was safer to run. Sorry, I didn't mean to cause him this much distress. Yes, you couldn't have known how sensitive. Alright, plain eyes, so he'll deal with the taxes. Still, you did threaten us. It is no small thing. If he does not return, or if something has happened to him, I will hold you responsible. That's up to you. Seek God, Andreas. Wait. Did you just say Brother Rudiger? Hadn't been seen? And he's, maybe it's another Rudiger, but he's right here. Good day, Master Mailer. Ah, Andreas, good to see you. I trust Clara gave you my message? God, this guy's got a douchebag smile, too. Afternoon, Andres, Otto. Clara did give me your message. Sorry I missed you this morning. I was still asleep when you came by. Ah, the abbot really lets you get away with anything, doesn't he? Leave him be, Otto. I'm hungry. Let's pray. Bless us, O Lord, and these our gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. How did the morning treat you? Not too bad, thanks. I hurt my damned hand splitting timber to replace a bad beam in the abbot's house. Rye bread. Cheese. Let's go with the bread. Not that bad of an injury, it just galls me that the abbot bleeds us dry and we're expected to do work here when it suits him. Almonds? Oh, it's not all that bad. I get a lot of good work from the abbey. Casting pilgrim's badges isn't really smithing, but I don't mind. Anyway, I saw you walking with that Baron Rothvogel in the meadow on your way up here. What's that all about? Here to check on a commission. I understand he was friendly with Father Matthias. He was, though Father Matthias had some misgivings about the Baron. He What kind of misgivings? That he fools around with young women? He's married, of course. Otto, that's only gossip, and it isn't Christian to spread rumors like that. Not gossip that he beat up that farmer a few years back, old Ranig. May he rest in peace. Well, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But if he did that, yes, it speaks poorly of his character. We had a long conversation on our way up here, but he didn't mention anything about that. What did you talk about then? I mean, no offense. What does a nobleman have in common with an artist? No, no. Martin Luther, my time at university, a variety of other things. Quite well educated. Sure, I imagine you have a lot of time to read when you don't have to worry where your next meal is going to come from. This bitterness and envy are not good for our Christian souls, Otto. Not envy, Endris. No one should get away with what he does. What this abbey does. No offense to you, Andreas. I don't have any problem with the books the abbey makes. I mean, I never did learn to read. People are paying the abbey to make them, it doesn't bother me. No, I understand. I see why people resent the abbot's rule. He's a harsh lord. Oh, Otto. Did you see that the Bauer sheep escaped the grazing fields again? No, but I'm not surprised. Martin was supposed to fix that fence and he probably did a bad job at it. He's always in a foul mood, and he could be the laziest soul in Tassing. He can't even hold a hammer properly. Married and a father at such a young age, and he barely lifts a finger for his wife or child. Top of that, he's a damned thief. And before you say it, Entrus, that's more than just gossip. Look at him, over by the guest house, probably figuring out what he could steal with the least amount of effort. He's a born shirker, sure enough. I know one when I see one. Especially when you look in a mirror. Speaking of the Bower sheep, their ewes are shorn and the women will be spinning it soon. Otto. I got it, Endris. No need to tease. What God wants to happen will happen. Looks like a storm's coming. Should probably get back to it. Right, I'll catch up in a moment, Endris. Oh, Andreas, say hello to Ava for me if you get a chance. Ava, huh? Well chosen, Otto. Andreas, don't. Just tell her hello for me. Keep out of it. Of course. I should return to work in the scriptorium. Till later. Is there, no save in this? Does it auto-save? Time to get back to work. God bless you, Andreas. Hello, Brother Matthew. What are you doing out here? I thought you were aware that in addition to my role as Cursow's sacrist, I tend to the shrine of St. Moritz. He is the patron of Tassing and Cursow both, so it is my duty to ensure his reliquary is well cared for. The shrine is always beautifully kept. Whenever I visit, I always leave inspired. The martyrdom of St. Moritz provides inspiration to us all. Yes, suck up to this guy. You are familiar with the life of St. Moritz, are you not? I'm afraid I don't make a habit of learning about every saint I come across. Well, you ought to learn something about Tassing's patron saint while you're here. By all means. St. Moritz is most widely known for his martyrdom at the hands of the Romans. He protected a town of Christians from slaughter, and in turn, he and his legion were decimated. Sounds dreadful. The Lord calls us to cast down our lives for our brothers and sisters in the faith. Master Mailer. Most of the pilgrims who visit come knowing only this, if anything, about his life. However, passing venerates St. Moritz because he was the one to convert the town, save it from destruction. St. Moritz came here? Indeed, he and his legion were snowed into this pass, and the townsfolk refused to aid them. The daughter of the town's leader, Satya, was moved in spirit and snuck from the town to convert. Satya. She led Moritz to a spring, and as soon as she was baptized, the snow melted, revealing all manner of fruit. Moritz and his legion were saved by these miraculous gifts. The town was converted, and the rebels fled into the mountains. So how did Moritz's hand end up in Tassing? Roman soldiers dismembered St. Moritz for fear he would resurrect like Christ. Christians of the town fled with his body so that it would not be further desecrated, and his hand was preserved here. What an astounding story. Thank you for the history lesson, Brother Matthew. You are welcome, Master Mailer. God bless you. One more thing. I have a favor to ask you. Yes, Andreas? I was hoping you could give me my pay for the latest manuscript early. This isn't part of the agreement you made with Father Gernot. Be paid on the completion of each additional manuscript you illuminate, not before. I only have a few pages left, Brother Matthew. I'll finish them in the next few days anyway. And I think you could wait a few days to collect your wages. This abbey runs through mutual agreements, not haphazard payments. Breaking such contracts would cause undue trouble not only for Kirsau, but for Tassing as well. The matter is pressing, Brother Matthew. For the love of another Christian, I beg you to make an exception. Very well. Do not ask this of me again, Andreas Mailer. Here you are. I shall note this with Father Gernot and Prior Ferenc. Thank you, Brother Matthew. God bless you, Andreas. Now that I've got the payment, I can give Clara the rent early. I'll put it on the table in the evening to surprise them. I'm not going back down to the town now, in the middle of the day. Brother Adok, this work. I don't know where to start. Inconsistent spacing, rough strokes. You're working like you want to see this place closed. Brother Prior, I am working to the best of my abilities, and I dispute your criticism. I may not be fast, but I still have my talent, praise be to God. And Brother Guy, why are you still on this page? What's wrong with you? Normally you're so reliable. Many apologies, Brother Prior. I will work harder. Hero, I can't believe this. Baron Rothvogel has come to check on his progress, and this is all you have? You should have finished this months ago. Is your mind so corrupted by age that you didn't notice the seasons have changed? Well, you're not the one who will have to answer for it, so why should you care? Typical. Excuse me, Brother Ferenc, but I believe your point is made. Grace, I will remind you that I am the master of this scriptorium and you are a guest here. I agree, Brother Prior. Brother Piero's work is unacceptably slow. You are insufferable, brother guy. Oh God, give me the patience to endure this. Please, everyone, this is my work and I accept responsibility for it. Prior Ferenc is right. No, he's not. Prior Ferenc, is this mine? It must be, yes? It is, my lord. I can No, no, I don't want excuses. I've come all this way, and I have to be honest, I expected more. Nowhere near finished, and the style is... Well, it's very old-fashioned. I thought I made my desires clear. Oh, God. Fuck you. I feel like my generosity toward Kirsau is being taken advantage of. Am I the fool in this sad story? I... No, of course not, my lord. Never. We can fix this, of course. Of course. We only want to accommodate you. Oh, so he's a rich, privileged asshole. Ah, Andreas, good to see you again. My lord. Father Gernot, why not have Andreas complete the rest of the illustrations? Clearly capable. Well, my lord, why not have Brother Guy complete it if is your... No, I'm not talking about the ship. That's fine. The script, that's fine, but the art, the illustration. I want Andreas to do the others. Of course. I mean, if Andreas is all right with it. Well, I will do what I have to do. There we have it. I hope this allays your concerns, my lord. Excellent. By the way, Father Abbot, am I still welcome at your table for supper? Naturally, my lord. Wonderful. I'd like Andreas to join us. My lord, I've already made supper plans with the Drucker family in town. Nonsense, you can eat with them any day. I'm only here for the evening. Well, Father? Well, that would be quite unusual. Unusual or not, I doubt that my good friend, the Prince Bishop, would deny additional guests at his table. Ah, what do you think? I understand. Yes, you're right, of course. Andreas may join us for supper. Okay, I'm firmly anti, Lawrence at this point. I look forward to it. He is such a privileged douchebag. You. You had this plan. Must have put your hook in the Baron this morning when you ambushed him in town. Oh, go to hell, Ferenc. Brother Prior, Andreas is not to blame for any of this. I am. Yes, you are, and you've embarrassed me, the Abbot, and the Abbey. Brother Prior Ferenc is right, of course. No wonder we don't get more commissions. Oh, so you're just a kiss ass. Guy, can you stop flattering the Prior for 1 minute? You're so insincere and you're so obvious about it, Guy. Brothers, please, Sister Zdena and I would prefer it if you could keep the noise down. Sounds like Samson slaying the Philistines in here. Of course. Get back to work, everyone. Well, that was not wonderful. but there's nothing to be done about it now. Finish my work here and wash up in the lavatorium for supper at the abbot's table. Andreas, I'm so glad you'll be joining us for supper, though the circumstances are unusual, to be sure. I won't be able to speak with you, none of the brothers will, but it will be good to have you with us. That's a shame. I always enjoy our talks. Now, the same doesn't apply to you at the abbot's table. You can talk all you like, though I wouldn't recommend it. Father Abbot does not look kindly on idle chatter. I wish you could take my place, Brother Piero. You deserve the honor. Anyway, I'm sorry for how the prior treated you. It's not fair. It's humiliating. Oh, no, no, my son. There's no need to worry about me or my pride. And we all need a taste of humility from time to time to keep our feet on this earth. No, Andreas, you are my pride. I cannot claim to have taught you much, but I am proud to have known you and your work. And when you leave all of us at Curacao Abbey behind, we call upon your friend Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel, to help you in your... There's nothing wrong with your style. It's not old just because a nobleman says so. Don't trouble yourself over it. Time passes for us all. Things change. The future will right over the present. You need not fear any of it, so long as you remain true to yourself and God. Now I must hurry to the refectory to join my brothers. I will see you inside. Andreas, glad you could join us. Thank you, man. Father Garnet, Father Thomas, Friar Ferenc. Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Oh, the Gospel of Matthew. Wonderful. Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. The gates of Hades will not overcome it." Have you read Matthew much, Andreas? Not really, to be honest. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Then he ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. That reminds me, Father Garnett. Oh, God. Have you read anything by Martin Luther? I can't say that I. He has some incredible ideas about the church. Brilliant, I think. God, Lawrence, read a fucking room. My lord, is the meal to your liking? I believe I remember you enjoying our quail on your last visit. Quail? My God, Father Abbot, the quail's fine. But don't you think Luther's ideas are... hold on. But don't you think Luther's ideas are worth discussing? Talking about the future of the church, shaking things up in a way I don't think we've seen before. Father Thomas, you see value in his ideas, do you not? My lord, I mean no offense, but I do not. Brother Matthew, yes? How appropriate. What are your thoughts on Luther's attacks on the church's sale of indulgences? Oh, God. Uh... Baron, please do not involve the other brothers in this conversation. Fine, fine. What about Andreas? Certainly a man who attended the same university as Martin Luther could spare some thoughts on his work. I must respect Father Abbott's wishes at his table, my lord. Et tu, Andreas? I expected more of you. Enough! Lord Rothbogle, you are our guest and held in high esteem, but you have worn out my patience. We will not be discussing Luther's work with Andreas, Thomas, Matthew, or with any other brother. Is that clear? I suppose, Father, it is your abbey, but you're taking too much offense at this, and you're far too afraid of change. Whether it's from Luther or someone else, reform is coming to the church. You had better accept it. God, Jesus Christ, man, read a room and shut the fuck up. What? Neither you nor Martin Luther dictate change to the Holy Church on their whim. This talk is beyond insulting. It's blasphemous, outrageous. How dare you? I see. I have overstepped my bounds, and I suppose I have ruined everyone's supper. My apologies. In spite of this unpleasantness, I will make good on my manuscript payment and the donation of my copy of Historia Tessiae. Cannot accept what the future will bring. Perhaps it's time for you to come to terms with your past. Well, no need to overstay my welcome. Fathers, brothers, Reyes, good night. God, I hate this fucking guy. I'm fine with you saying he has multiple, he's a multifaceted character, but... Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you, Andreas, for not letting him engage you in his bait. No good would have come of it. Now then, I must ask you to leave so I can speak to the brothers in chapter privately. Brother Piero, please accompany Andreas out. I will take my leave as well. Good night. God, like, Florence. I understand and I am sympathetic to the idea, but you don't have to be such a pompous asshat about it. Don't worry about Father Garnet and the Baron. Sure, it will all be fine by morning. I hope Father Abbot can see that the Baron's heart is in the right place, even if he picked the wrong time to express himself. I think the Baron should apologize if he wants to be forgiven. Think on Matthew, Andreas. Our forgiveness should come like God's love, freely, without condition. In any case, I do hope the Baron respects the Abbot's wishes for the rest of his stay, for everyone's sake. Brother Piero, what do you think of Martin Luther's ideas? Ha! That is for younger and wiser men than me to decide. I am just a monk, thank God. Good night, my son. There's a lamp still burning in the guest house. Lorenz must still be awake. I wonder how he's doing. What was he thinking? He's a baron, but he couldn't have expected that to go well. Storm doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. I should get back to the gardeners. Okay, it's locked. Huh? Yeah. Are you alright, Master Mailer? Did you see that in the aqueduct? A ghost? Yes. Could be a Roman, maybe even an old pagan. Wouldn't be the first time people have seen ghosts around these parts. Interesting. Well, I think I found Johann's last lost sheep. I'm going to head home. Take care, Master Mailer. I will. Thank you, Till. Iris is beautiful. Shrine to St. Moritz. The statue looks ancient. Ah, no! Pale horse! Pale horse! Still on the floor! Remain silent. Matin? Monastic hour corresponding to 2 a.m. is used for the night prayer. Matins! Matins! The pale horse! Death! Sister, listen to my voice. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Yes. Yes, Father, I hear you. Am I here? Is this now? Yes, you are with us. This is now. I apologize, Andreas. I imagine that must have been quite alarming. Is she alright? She is, yes. Sister Amalie is a mystic, gifted with visions. God sees fit to give her one. Some are more frightening than others. How long has she been? Been sealed in the cells next to the church for almost 10 years now. Oh, yes, it's one of those kinds of things. If you came to Mass more often, you would see that I give her communion through a window to the cell. Her cell? She is an anchoress, a religious hermit so devoted to God, she has enclosed herself in a cell next to the church. She is dead to the world, but continues a life of prayer and religious contemplation. Sometimes, ever so rarely, she receives great and terrible visions. Does she look with the Tassing, or was she a nun at Kirsau? Neither. She came here from a Benedictine abbey in Lower Bavaria after it burned down. I am her confessor and caretaker. Many anchoresses are not literate. I write down her visions to help interpret them. I thought all of the monks and nuns at Kirsau could read, even poor Brother Volkbert. Thank you, Father Thomas. I must rest now. Of course, sister. She seems unhappy. She's not unhappy, but she is in pain, both physical and spiritual. Spiritual pain comes from her revelations. They come and go. I try to address them as best I can. Physical pain comes from a deformity in her spine and aching joints. I know of no cure for that, save prayer to the Almighty. Sister Amelie was saying she had a vision of death. Could someone be in danger? Oh no, don't rush to judgment. Her visions are divine and powerful. They could have many meanings. Some of her revelations take years to comprehend. They may never be understood at all, as God wills it. Still, the argument at dinner was quite troubling. Perhaps it has cast a shadow over our thoughts. Now then, the good sister appears to have fallen back to sleep. I must prepare for bed myself. Good night, Andreas. Good night, Father. Oh, the Gertners. Everyone's asleep. I set the coins on the table so Clara will be surprised in the morning. Getting late. I should get some rest. Sleep. Time to get back to work. I'm not tired yet. Perhaps after Compline? Next hour corresponding to 8 p.m. One of the little hours of prayer, the monks and nuns retire to their dormitories shortly afterward. Wah. Shh, it's all right, Ursula. Morning? What happened? Storm rolled in during the night. Hasn't let up all morning. Clara and I have been doing what we can in here to keep us all from washing away. Peter and York are outside, trying to deal with the flooding as best they can. Oh my, is the farm in danger? There's always a danger with this much rain, but we've lived through worse. Whatever happens, it will be as God wills it. We must have faith in Providence and endure what is to come. Oh, I have some food for you. Here, sorry I couldn't prepare anything more. Thank you. Otto wanted me to say hello, by the way. Oh, he did? Hmm. Good, thank you. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas. Try to stay dry. Thanks, you too. Good luck. Andreas, are you doing all right, Peter? No, I'm not. Some of our sheep escaped, and I'd rather not spend my morning fixing this damn wall for the third time this year. This is the way it always is. Rain falls on the Abbey and rolls downhill to us little people. Well, it's hard to blame the Abbey for that. That's just how rain works. There's a reason we're down here and there, Andreas. Anyway, I have to get back to this. See you later. Hello, Andreas. I found a rather full pouch of coin on our table this morning. I thought you might have left it. I did. It's for you to pay the taxes you owe to the Abbey. Andreas, this is far more than your rent payment. You can't accept this. Please, Clara, it's the least I can do. You and Peter have been such gracious hosts. But Andreas, how did you even find so much coin? Are you sure you'll have enough to spare for yourself? Don't worry about me, Clara. I'll be fine. Oh, well, if... Sure. Thank you, Andreas. You don't know what this means to us. Probably best not to mention it. Of course, I won't mention it to anyone. Still, thank you. I'll let you move on with your day. God bless you. Till later. Brothers awful, but I still have to get to the scriptorium. Hopefully tempers have calmed down since last night. Hold on, let me check one thing. Okay, it does autosave. Okay, so that is it. I'm at a little over 2 hours, so that is where I'm going to stop for tonight. It was a little slow, I'll admit, on the start, but it's world building and introducing me to characters and stuff like that. So, I'm assuming that the murder in question, which seems to be where this is going to happen soon, if not today. So, that is it. I'll be back tomorrow night with more Pentiment. I am enjoying this, although it's taking a little bit to get used to. It didn't hook me right at the start, but yeah, I assume it'll pick up speed. So, anyway, that's it. Thank you all for watching tonight. Everyone have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.